So you've ridden with Sergeant McHugh.
Yep.
And then
Sergeant Corbasi.
Corbasi.
Yep. Officer Robbins.
Robbins.
And then Sergeant Parasol. All right, folks. Good evening, everybody. Look at this. We are off to a good start. Friday night, Cranston PD Live. Share that you are watching. We're going to let everybody file in, and then we'll talk a little bit about tonight. For those that are just tuning in, 7:56 in the east. It is Juan. We are riding along. Tonight, you're going to see him in just a moment with Officer Scotty. It's Friday night, and we are in Cranston, Rhode Island. I want a special shout out everybody at Ted Stadium Pub, where I believe they have the watch party. We're even starting a little bit early. Folks, you're going to meet the officer in just a moment, but I want to thank Roberta Farrell, David Sammartino, and everyone with Team Juan. We are off the department that is the talk of the state this week, and it is Cranston PD Live for a Friday night. Great. Thank you, Roberta. Well, folks, again, good evening, everyone. Let me, just getting settled here. And we have, it is Officer Scotty. And Officer, just if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about Officer Scotty and the Cranston Police.
Yeah, Officer Scotty. I've been second shift patrol. I'm in my 10th year. And part of the peer support team as well.
Shout out to Gianna.
Yeah, shout out to Gianna. I know she's watching right now.
Yeah. The girls watching?
My girls are probably watching, Brielle and Avery.
All right.
Yep.
Give them a shout out as well.
Shout out to
Daddy's riding with Juan tonight.
That's it. Daddy loves you, girls.
How's the day been so far? There was quite an accident a little earlier.
Yes. Yep. There was an accident over on Dyer Avenue. It was a pretty good accident. Few vehicles involved. The car went down the hill and struck a few vehicles there. And then we had a potential break-in and entering. It turned out that wasn't the case, fortunately. Couple disturbances early on, and then it seemed to calm down just a little bit. So we'll see what the night has in store for us now moving forward.
We're on Cranston Street, and we are citywide tonight on this Friday night.
Yes.
Yep.
So yeah, any kind of calls that come in, we're going to be trying to follow into and seeing where the action is tonight.
All right, folks. So there it is. Thumbs up for Officer Scotty. Beautiful family. Two little girls. What time is their bedtime, by the way, the girls? Can they stay up tonight? Or?
They might stay up for a little while
right,
tonight.
just
Typically it's 8 o'clock,
All
but
right.
they're excited, so
Good.
maybe a little bit late.
All right. They're home with mommy, or?
Yeah, they're at home watching with mom.
Good. All right. And folks, remember, you can put this on your big screen TV. If you get a Fire Stick, if you're not sure how to do that, if you type in someone that's watching, we'll be able to walk you through it. But it's definitely possible. A lot of people like doing that. It's a cool night, but it's a dry night. It is Friday night. And once again, it is just 8 o'clock. And you're watching Cranston PD Live. Thank you to Vanessa. Just sent a photo at Ted Stadium Pub, where they have it up on the big screen.
It looks busy right now.
It does look busy. They've got a good crowd, and there's some giveaways as well.
Oh, good.
So, Officer, tell us a little bit about your shift.
So my shift starts 3:45, goes till 11:45. Again, I think it's probably when you get some of the most calls for service, a wide variety of calls, and then you really never know what to expect from night to night. And great group of guys and girls, good camaraderie on the shift. So again, that's why I've stayed pretty much my entire career. Did a very short stint on days and came back to second shift.
You like the action of the nighttime?
Yeah, I enjoy the action. I like the, like I said, the variety of calls, and certainly my the co-workers on second too.
Yep. Well, folks, again, we're Park Avenue, just getting started here.
We'll be passing by Ted's in just a moment here.
Right. We are. Folks, again, I want to thank them. It's so nice of them with the watch party. A lot of times they then come out a little bit. There they are, folks. There's the crowd. There they are right now. Here is everybody. Oh, wow. Here we go.
Hey.
Folks, there is the crowd. They got a nice crowd. Wow, that is terrific. Folks, everybody, fans, share that you are watching. Again, that's right on Park Avenue. Nice touch with the lights, by the way.
Yeah. Try to give them something now.
Yes,
Coming out,
yes. Now, again, you mentioned earlier, so
we appreciate all the support and people tuning in, and it seems like it's built up a little bit of a fan base every week. So we appreciate it and the support in the community.
How do you, as we're rolling along here on Park Avenue, folks coming up Park and Reservoir, how can people, if you're out, whether it's tonight or wherever, riding, how can people, how do you like it for them to show, if they want to just acknowledge or tell you that they are a supporter of the Cranston Police?
Pretty much the way that they have,
just like a wave or a thumbs up.
A thumbs up. You pull into a parking lot sometimes, you got to get gas or whatever, and people just say, "Hey, officer, we appreciate what you guys do out there, day in and day out." So, little comments like that goes a long way. You don't hear it too often, but when you do, it certainly makes an impact.
Yeah. And little chillier, but I mean it's not freezing and it's not raining, so it is a Friday night.
Yes.
So
yep.
And also Wednesday there was quite the ceremony I attended that they had at the Cranston Police Station to acknowledge officers in the past that have.
Yes, yeah. Police Memorial Week this past week. So I think we do a great job every year over there, and the administration coordinates all that. Yeah, it's a great ceremony to be part of.
You also, it's incredible the former officers that come back and want to make sure they connect with and don't forget their roots with the Cranston Police Department.
Oh, absolutely. Yep. And you see that a lot, especially in our department. In events like that, Police Memorial Week, you'll get a lot of retirees who will come over, partake in it, and yeah, it's great because that's kind of the way that you like to kind of mold the future of the department and help guide the younger officers too.
What goes through your mind when we ride by this building on your left? Good memories or bad memories?
Certainly good memories.
Good memories of Cranston.
Yep, that's it. Former Thunderbolt.
Wow. Okay.
So, class of 04.
And on the wrestling team.
Yes, on the wrestling team as well.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, very good years, great memories.
Good. All right, folks, again, we are right now, it is Cranston PD Live. It is what have been a very eventful week. It's also good to see not only the turnout, but you see, obviously Mayor Hopkins was at the ceremony, and a lot of Cranston police, as you say, past and present.
Yeah. Turnout for that. Yeah, great turnout this past week.
And I know also that the families that have lost people, it certainly isn't lost on them, and it means a lot to them that never forget.
Absolutely, and it's great to hear too. But yeah, a loss like that impacts the whole community and certainly those members' families. So,
So again, folks, we are just underway. It has been earlier this afternoon. People were sending anything you can tell us about that accident on Dyer Avenue. It looked like a truck going into a building of some kind.
Yeah, I believe the truck had rolled down. Basically, kind of lost some control on the hill. Struck a few unoccupied vehicles. Aside from that, I don't know too many of the particulars. I wasn't on scene for that one. I had just kind of heard about the call coming in. So, but I don't believe anyone was injured. Didn't sound like anyone, no serious injuries.
Heavy damage, though.
Heavy damage, yes.
All in all, how has your week been this week? With your shifts.
So it's starting to pick up a little bit. A lot of times, right, due to the warmer weather coming around. But yeah, I certainly think sometimes you get a little bit of a lull when the cold weather's around in the winter and people kind of have a tendency to sort of hibernate. And now, nice weather comes out, people are around more, they're socializing, more opportunity. Just for kind of things that go awry a little bit sometimes. But yeah, it's been pretty busy the last last week or two.
All right, folks. Again, we're on Ralph Street area.
10 floors in the 48 there.
I want to remind people this. I don't want to talk over the radio. This episode will be on demand, and then if you ever miss an episode, folks, it's all right there. And also, I know people are now watching this right now on Facebook, or will be, I should say, when you're watching it posted. I was Cranston Police certainly had a lot of attention this week, trending on Twitter, and then also I was showing the officer earlier that we had you have some fans down in Australia.
Yeah, that's pretty wild to hear about.
How about that?
Yeah,
Yes.
all the way on the other side of the world.
Yes.
People tuning in, so
That's right.
that's pretty exciting.
It is. That's different.
Especially being, little Cranston. You think of us,
Little
but-
nothing.
Exactly. So.
All right, folks, remember also you can type in someone's name. That'll notify them that they can tune in. You can also obviously share that you are watching. We'll do some shout-outs coming up just a little bit. Special hello to Nancy McCormick, Jane Rice, of course Roberta Farrell, who's working endlessly. Folks, also Jacqueline Clare is back for the summer, so she has jumped in. Does a lot of the editing that you see. Also our producer William with a lot of the editing. All part of Team One. We are, what section of the city are we in right now?
So we're on Pontiac Ave right now. We've just kind of left the Auburn section, and we're heading down towards like the Garden City area right now, heading more south. It was a call that they had over at Chipotle for trespassing, so I'm going to start just kind of driving that direction. There is a detail officer on scene, so she's saying she's going to be all set, but in the event she's not, we won't be too far from there.
Good. Have you also, officer, noticed influx with cannabis since it's been now legalized in the state?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it seems like you're encountering it probably almost every shift in some capacity, some way, shape, or form. So it definitely presents more of a challenge for us moving forward, but it's just one of those things that we got to deal with now. It's here, it's staying, and we just have to handle those kind of situations differently than we have in the past.
Have you ever pulled over someone that pretty certain that they may have been under the influence of cannabis?
Yes. And I'm not a certified DRE. We do have several on the department. So in the event that you believe someone's under the influence of a drug, something other than alcohol, we contact one of them to come out to the scene, and they perform a battery test on them and determine whether or not they're intoxicated.
And just to be clear, people should know, you're not supposed to smoke as you're riding around.
Correct. Yeah. Well, we certainly don't advise doing that. We don't encourage that in any way. And, again, we'll be on the lookout for it, especially as it's becoming more prevalent in the community.
Does seem to be pretty almost common now.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to drive around and drink, so you're also not supposed to drive around and smoke.
Correct. Right.
That's my interpretation.
No, absolutely. No, if you're going to be partaking with drinking, smoking, try to do it in the safe area at your house or stay off the roadways. You don't want anyone else at risk or that person at risk.
All right, folks, again, we're on Pontiac Avenue. Certainly got a lot of attention this week. We saw Commander Padalano as we were leaving.
Yes. Yep. Ran into the major. Got to speak with him for a little bit. But he's around tonight.
He's the most talked about police officer in the state right now, in a good way. In a good way, folks. And if you haven't seen it, we have the video posted. It was a textbook example of how to handle a situation. So, all right, again, it's just Friday. It's Friday night. Thank you, everyone that is tuning in. This is episode 23. It is Juan.
Like I said, right now we're just kind of en route over toward Garden City area.
Yep.
Doesn't seem to be any pressing need right now, but like I said, we just want to make sure she's all set on that call.
At the Chipotle.
At Chipotle, yes, for trespassing.
So that's the scene we're going to come up to.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that sometimes I don't want to say common call, but frequent, where there's someone having a problem with a customer and the business asks, the Cranston police to step in?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of times, they're good and they go through their protocol and they'll try to maybe de-escalate a situation. But when it seems that it's starting to get out of hand, or that person's adamant they're not leaving, then they make the phone call to us and we have to come and deliver that news.
What should a business do if they have a customer that for whatever reason they just choose not to have them in the store? The best thing to do is let the police de-escalate.
Correct. Yep. And what I've always told people, right, is if someone can start recording the interaction or recording the behavior, what's going on, that's always great for us to view on scene. So that way we have, it's not just he said, she said. When we show up, you got some video evidence to go on, and it also kind of could remove that person from the scene from getting too involved and maybe further agitating, so just kind of taking a step back, maybe recording or having someone off doing it, and then someone contacting our department to have us respond then.
All right, folks, we're rolling into Garden City. See what's happening exactly with this.
It also tends to be pretty busy during the weekend.
I spoke with the juvenile. They're going to leave Chipotle. They're still in Garden City. No trespass that's going to be issued against them.
Okay, yeah, so basically it sounded like it was a juvenile, probably causing some issue, but they are not going to issue a trespass right now. That juvenile's been dispersed and it seems like everything's all set. So we'll just kind of
Take
a little ride through, see what's going on.
Yep. How important can that be sometimes, just the presence of police on scene, just to let everyone know that, situation's under control?
Huge, I think. Just the presence alone, right, they always say is a huge deterrent for a lot of people.
Many times riding with me is a huge deterrent.
And it also gives people that sense of kind of safety,
Yes.
security, to know that, the officer's around.
681 Redwall Ave. It's going to be a 911 hang-up. Well, it says a voicemail. She may be having 4,300 issues.
Look at that.
Yeah. All right, folks, here we go.
212 will fall in.
That was all.
So 4,300 issues. They're saying they're probably most likely experiencing a mental health issue going on. And it was a 911 hang up. So, we'll.
12 and 6 on return call. The fight keeps hanging up.
So something's going on.
Yeah.
Obviously, we just don't know what exactly right now. So
GPS location puts her
are
on
the
the
lights on? Get some of these vehicles to move over here.
Yeah.
Put us out.
Folks, share that you were watching. All right, we're at the CVS, right, Reservoir Park. Thank you for the stars, folks, on this Friday night. Here's Juan with Officer Scotty. We're responding, another officer as well, to a 911 hang up. Someone in distress.
What house were you at?
Brandon, we'll handle this if you want to go handle that auto when they try and run someone over.
Okay, sounds good.
So I'm just leaving then. She's striking me.
Folks, we're being called away to another
Well, your radio's
Okay. So, for Major Padawana, I mean, they're still handling the situation on scene right now. It looks like they have the party separated. They're going to try to figure out what exactly happened. She appears to physically be okay, so now they're just going to try to piece that together. But we are going to go head over to another call right now that might be a little more pressing, a little further down on the east side here.
folks, we're being diverted to the other call. That was Commander Padalano on the scene. Thank you for the stars, folks.
We're going to go to it down on Pierce Avenue. So disturbance came in and saying somebody is trying to run somebody else over, potentially on the lawn. So we're going to head down that way. We got two other officers going as well too. just about to get on Elmwood down towards Pierce Avenue. The officer on scene reporting all set. So.
But they were able to disperse the situation, it sounds like.
Yes. So sometimes the more officers you have showing up on the scene can agitate what's going on. So if you're having success trying to de-escalate the situation, sometimes you want to keep that presence to a minimum. So a lot of times until we say we're all set for bodies, I always like to just try to abide by that, and not, you don't fall into the scene anymore, because they're just trying to quell whatever situation they had and handle it accordingly. So, but again, at least we're still down this area in case something changes and they need us quickly. We'll still be right around this area too.
So this is Elmwood Avenue. This leads into Warwick, and disturbance on, is it East Street?
Pierce Avenue. Pierce Ave, yep, which runs off 2nd Ave.
Also sounds, it was, whatever happened, it was successfully, to this point, de-escalated.
Yes, to this point, so far, successfully de-escalated. A lot of times if it's not, you'll hear them be very audible. Step it up. I need more cars, some more officers. You can just tell, again, working with the same group of people for a very long time, even just changes in the voice, you know when to kind of step it up and when to come off the gas a little bit.
Northvale Ave, caller states someone is in his rear yard. They ran through the yard. Doesn't have any description. Well, can you follow in?
Fully safe.
All right, folks, good evening, one and all. Watching Cranston PD Live. Hi, Crystal Davis. Hi, Nancy McCormick. Special shout out, Massachusetts State Police tuning in. Also, good evening to the Warwick Police that are tuning in. I saw them on a call the other day. Huge fans.
Now, it is possible. This call that we're going on, it's on North Vale Avenue. Someone reported seeing someone just running through their backyard. They didn't state, any crime in progress, but that's right in the vicinity of the CVS call we were just on. So it's possible that this could have been related. We were out with one male subject, and he had reported right before we left that he had seen her talking to another male subject. So
Could be connected.
calls could be connected, correct. So we're heading back in that direction right now.
Of course, again, Friday night in the East. You're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. We are riding along. Officer Scotty is just now 8:27 on this Friday night. And that was, that was Commander Padalano that we saw at the call at CVS. On this Friday night, also, I have a list of people to mention, and also do want to mention officers of the Walpole Police Department, Boston Police Department, and also, let's see, as we are making our way, Walter Sansucci. Thank you, Walter. Support this afternoon. And his daughter, Nicole, and then Kayla, and Andrew, and then, of course, everyone, as we had mentioned earlier, both Julie and Jen. That's right. All right, just coming up to 8:30 in the east.
Quick traffic stop.
Vehicle's a little late, yeah.
212.
10-12.
Which is prior. We'll be on a G5, New York, Henry Tom 7713. It's gonna be pocket door. Good evening. Right, so you know why I pulled you over? That's okay. Okay. Do you have the registration as well too? All right. Your driving record good?
Yeah.
Okay. The insurance guy. Yep. The registration I can run through. The registry. Okay. All right. I'll be right back with you.
All right, folks, again, let's see what the officer, what Officer Scotty, how he handles them. All right, folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. Let's see how it ends up with Officer Scotty.
Okay, perfect. Looks like good driving record. I'm going to cut your break, okay? All right, drive safe. Just make sure next time stop. Don't delay. Okay. Have a good night.
All right, folks, we'll get a recap from Officer Scotty. Again, it's Friday night. It is Juan.
Doing right now, the body cam footage that we have, we just wind up tagging the videos as we go.
Okay.
So they get uploaded to our system.
Okay.
So that's on the 1 second. We'll be right back on.
How was their demeanor on stuff?
They were good. She was apologetic.
Yeah.
There was a graduation party. She was just transporting her parents back home from too.
Yeah.
Good driving record. You know, I took a quick look at it. So I gave her a warning, sent her on her way. You know, again, it was fortunate no one got hurt.
They seem prepared and organized.
Yes. Yeah. And the other thing that goes a long way with me is she took accountability right away. First thing she said, I said, you know why I pulled you over? Because I ran a red light, officer. I'm sorry. You know. And
appreciate that?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. To me, that goes a long way. I usually say that a lot of times people can write themselves their own tickets, you know.
Has that happened?
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. If people get very confrontational, they take no accountability for what they've done and give you a hard time, it's a lot easier to write that piece of paper to that person, you know, than someone who is polite, respectful of the unseen.
I can head over to Northvale. That's on me.
So we're going to be back en route over to Northvale now.
11, I'm in the area.
And again, we're just making a check
10 for 11.
for a subject who is seen through the yard. Like no other criminal, nothing criminal right now. We just want to check of the area. The caller.
12, all set.
12, you show me 10-8.
They seem fairly organized when we pulled them over as well.
Yes, they did. And that always helps too. To be able to have, you know, I try to tell people that all the time, right? Keep registration, insurance, important documents in an easy place to get. Try to make sure everything's current, because God forbid you get into an accident. It's a very kind of frantic time for a lot of people, and the last thing you want to be doing is rummaging through trying to find documents, you know, in a situation like that. So a lot of times a little envelope or a Ziploc baggie, something like that, makes it very easy. Hand it over to us and we can take care of that end of it.
And they did run the light, officer. So, I mean, someone just hitting it, that would have been wildly unfortunate if someone came cruising through and they were the ones that were in the light.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. And that, you know, especially that area too, that's a busy intersection. Coming down by Wellington and Park. Most of the time, right, if you see a traffic signal, it's because it is a busy intersection. So by running that, certainly some bad accidents can happen. But like I said, she appeared apologetic, didn't have any sort of attitude, and took accountability. And for me, those are the three biggest things on a stop.
And seem respectful.
And respectful, right?
No attitude.
And it wasn't no attitude, and not a track record of violations like that on, you know, on the driving history, because again, someone could always pay you lip service as well too, and then you run their driving record, and you know it's going to say the opposite. So
folks, we are making our way back up Park Avenue, and again, good evening, one and all. It is Juan. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We are with Officer Scotty with the Cranston Police Department. Please share that you are watching. Again, you can also type in someone's name. That'll notify them and they could tune in. There was an incident just a short time ago right here, up here, Park Avenue at CBS. I'm going to right now check to see if in fact someone that's connected to it could be in the area. Again, I want to remind people that if you ever miss any of the episodes, you can go back and watch. They're all loaded on this page, but then they're also on both Spotify and YouTube. If you, wherever you're watching, you can type in where you're watching from, and then also when we try to, if we have time, we try to mention a number of the police departments that tune in. Hollywood, Florida, Dallas, Texas, police in Houston. So wherever you're watching, whether it's in Pawtucket or whether it's in Cape Cod, Nantucket, you can always just type that in as well.
.212 will be in the area.
So it looks like they have cleared.
Yes. Yep. They cleared. And again now, Officer Hardy, who is the other officer on scene, the Major Padawan, she's also in the area. She's making a check too for this individual. So we have a few units. Myself, Officer Hardy, Officer Brown. We're just going to kind of stroll through, see if we see
A description of who we're.
suspicious people walking around here.
She did mention, or he mentioned that there was someone had been else there at the scene. behind the CVS.
Yeah, and no description, it said here. Just someone in her backyard ran through, but no further description, it says, from dispatch. So. And like I said, it could have been related to the call. It could have been just a juvenile, teenager running around with his friends, or it could be someone who potentially could be up to no good too. So.
No idea if a weapon was shown.
No mention. No mention any weapon. No, it just sounds like someone just kind of going through an area where they shouldn't belong.
211. 211. I was unable to raise the one at 20 Northdale, but myself and 6 did some G20s on the neighborhood. Nothing showing for anyone running through neighborhoods. B10H. Yeah.
All right, so that was Officer Brown. He was just reporting that he actually spoke with the reporting party over on Northvale, and then G20. That's basically just a check of the area, the code that we use, and he was just saying no one has been seen running around this area like that. So
Sounds like we got a fugitive. No, unknown.
Yes. Yep. Well,
On something like that, what would go into play? You'd want to at least just identify and see who this person is, identification, what have you.
Yeah, exactly. If you see, someone suspicious. Again, it was tough there because she couldn't provide a description, right? So you could have a few people walking around, but again, right now, as we're driving around, we haven't seen anyone. So if you did see someone, walking around, hood up, kind of concealing themselves, it's probably someone who you just want to make contact with and try to identify who they are, So see what kind of business they have in the neighborhood.
Have you encountered something like that where then you can tell the way they are maybe being evasive, what have you, that it's someone that doesn't belong there?
Yeah, a lot of time, in my experience, when someone's being evasive or they don't want to be forthcoming usually with who they are, their identification, there's a reason for it, right? Whether they're up to no good, whether they might have an outstanding warrant. There's usually a reason for that.
I'll take a number. There we go.
All right, there's the watch party crowd again. We snuck up on them. Folks, that is Ted's. Thank you to them. To Julie and everybody, they're terrific. Looked like a full crowd.
Yeah, it was.
Standing room only.
Yeah. Pretty busy there tonight.
Thumbs up for everybody there. And what section of the city we are going on right now, officer?
So we're getting closer to like the Arlington area, the Arlington section. If we continue down Gansett on the Cranston Street, we'd be heading back towards our police station. And then if we continue on this way, we're going to be heading towards like the Knightsville area of the city too. Typically, I work 12 post a lot, which is out west, even further than the Knightsville area. Heading towards like Hope Road, Situate Ave, that kind of area there too. So yeah, we're heading more towards the west side of the city again. For people who are unfamiliar with Cranston, there's a lot of ground to cover sometimes when you go to the borders of it, and people are sometimes shocked that it's still Cranston,
Yeah. And borders Warwick, Providence, West Warwick, Coventry, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Yep.
That's unusual.
Yes. Yeah. And Situate too.
In Situate, that's right.
Yep. Situate also, yeah. A lot of places at borders, and pretty populated city as well.
Yep. All right, folks, we're just coming up into the Knightsville section. Again, it is Juan on this Friday night. You're watching Cranston PD Live.
We always like to give a shout out to Sergeant
Yes.
Corvasi when we go through the Knightsville area. Yeah. He's known very well around these spots.
Shout out to the Paisan. And he said the feast draws somewhat of a crowd.
Yes, every year. Yep. It's something we always try to plan our best for. We know it's going to be a busy weekend, but a lot of times, a lot of fun. People enjoy themselves.
Yep.
And yeah.
39 West.
39 West.
Yep.
Blue Moon. And they're always busy.
Are they?
Both bars, yes. During the time of the feast, there's always a lot going on.
Because the feast is down this area.
Correct. Yep.
All right, folks. Again, on this Friday night, you're watching Cranston PD Live again. Every episode is available on this Facebook page, but also is available on YouTube as well. And officer, it's interesting that sometimes, let's just say some teens think nothing of cutting through somebody's yard at night, but if someone, who knows, home alone, suddenly they see someone in the backyard, I could, set off some alarms.
Absolutely. I've gone on a lot of calls that a lot of people would consider, kind of innocuous. As far as kids going up and ding-dong ditch or running through the yards, like you said. But to that elderly homeowner, it definitely can raise the alarm and cause them distress enough where they want to give us a call. So
They don't know who's in their backyard.
no, absolutely not. So that's why we always, I try to speak as sternly as I can to some of them. The team, once you're able to identify who they are and tell them they shouldn't be doing that. Try to put in the position, to make them understand how would they like it if it were done to a relative of theirs, their grandmother, their grandfather, their mom and dad left alone. And, sometimes it seems to get through to them and they said, no, you're right. We won't be doing it. But yeah, those calls always come in again with the nicer weather. Sometimes we're running around chasing ding-dong ditches.
Now, right now we're on Atwood Avenue.
Yes. Atwood Ave, heading down towards Plainfield Street, Plainfield Pike area, towards the Johnston line.
How often does Officer Scotty interact with police officers from some of the other surrounding communities?
A fair amount, as far as with the Johnston officers, I would say, especially because this being more of my post out this way, out west, I encounter them a lot. Officer Schiappa is actually working tonight. We've been on scene a few times, so and they might punt me an accident, and I might punt them an accident back. Plainfield Pike is one of those, half the side, right? Half the side's Johnston, half the side's Cranston, depending on how the vehicles collide. Who ends up taking the jurisdiction there and takes the report. So, but no, I like to think we have a good relationship, good working relationship with Johnston.
Yep.
I've assisted them before on searches too, for suicidal people with mental health crisis going on.
Yep.
So
Fair to say there's a lot of those calls.
yes, yeah, it certainly seems to be I think an uptick in them.
Yeah.
Even since I've joined the force, and when I was back in 2013, and I would say that consumes a good amount of our calls for service.
Yep.
Between that, drug overdose calls, domestics, but those have always been a good amount. But certainly, the mental health piece is huge. And again, we things that we're trying to do. We have a crisis intervention team. I don't know if you're familiar with that. Anyone's talked about it, but again, we kind of partner with different clinicians out there, Gateway and BH Link, some mental health facilities, and try to go out and just trying to take a different approach to getting people the services they need, and in turn trying to reduce the amount of interactions that we'll have with those people, and try to make them a more positive interaction when we are dealing with them, if they're taking advantage of the supports out there. But
Have you ever had to use Narcan?
yes, yep. It's been a little while since I've had to use it. We're fortunate too, I always say, in Cranston, because especially with the fire department, we have a big department, so a lot of times fire will already be on scene at a lot of those calls that we'll go to.
Yep.
But in those rare instances when we show up first, that's why we're equipped with the Narcan as well, you know. And like I said, those opioid overdoses, you're seeing more and more. So
Can't even imagine. Prior, if you didn't have the Narcan, wow, think how many of those would be fatal.
yeah,
07.
Yep.
Channel 2.
it's fortunate, you know. It's fortunate we carried on us, and then like I said, that fire they can respond quickly on scene, and a lot of those scenes could turn bad.
Yeah.
You know, if it wasn't, fortunately, we didn't have a quick response like we do.
Folks, again, it's Friday night. We are riding with Officer Scotty. You're watching Cranston PD Live. Thank everybody for tuning in on this Friday night. It's clear out. It is dry, but definitely a little chillier than normal.
.207.
Okay, that sounds good.
Western part of the city, and we'll be coming up towards like Comstock Parkway,
Okay.
and we'll turn there, and then we'll start heading back towards Situate.
Yep.
Start heading more like kind of center of the city,
Okay.
just to kind of take a look around, see what's going on.
Sure.
This way.
Folks, again, Cranston always on patrol.
And we have certainly a good reputation, as far as I've heard it several times in my career, where people say, "We knew better than to come into Cranston like this."
Yeah, good.
Things on in order for them.
Good.
You know, so.
That's the way it should be.
Right. I know that we certainly have a presence out here. On the roadway.
You don't mind being proactive.
No, I think it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's just even the presence, us driving around,
Yeah.
showing up, even a shopping center like Garden City, and just that's always a good deterrent to
Yep.
people. You know. So, and you don't just always want to stay reactionary to things. You know, you don't want to.
And what about,
Unfortunately, a lot of our job is that way with our calls for service, you know, but something will happen and then we get the call and go. But in the times when you can be proactive, it's good, you know. Even something as minute as the traffic stop that we did earlier, with
Right.
the running of the light, you know. Hopefully that might change the driving behavior and the pattern of that girl, and she's going to think twice next time coming
That's
upon a light like that. So.
but Cranston residents should know, Cranston police are always out on patrol.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Yep. You know, we have a very good department. As I mentioned before, we take pride in policing the community and keeping everyone safe. And, yeah, we try our best out here, day in and day out.
Now, what section of the city are we in right now?
So we're on. So basically, this is the west.
Okay.
If we took a right down here, we would continue traveling west and end up in Situate.
Okay.
If we continue on Comstock, that's heading. We'd be heading eventually more southbound, and come out towards like the Wilbur Ave area, the Hope Road,
Yes.
and then heading further down towards the Warwick line again.
Okay.
But right now we turn back on Situate Avenue. Like I said, we're going to start trying to make our way back more center city.
More towards the center of the city.
Correct.
Yep. All right, folks, again, we are making our way on this Friday night. $8:54 on this Friday night. Special shout out to Carmine, all the members of Team One. I want to thank everyone that came out for the Charlotte Lester vigil on Tuesday night. Special hello to Ladybug. Let's see. We also want to special shout out to Chief Lynch, who is the president of the Rhode Island Police Association. Big fan. Also a shout out Judge Caprio, always watching the program.
I'll watch you.
Yep. So right now we are in kind of the western part, but we're going to start to make our way back towards the center part of the city.
It's always good, right? Right now, we have a lot of offices are clear, but in the event that we were tied up, and there's only one or two offices, they'll usually ask someone to stay center city, well, both. That way, if you get pulled in the east or the west, it's difficult to respond for a big call for service all the way out east if we're all the way out here, if everyone's tied up. So it's a good idea most of the time when you're just kind of roaming around and patrolling, just to kind of be center city if you're able to.
Yep.
You know.
Do you find it can work that way where there's a lull and then suddenly it can get very busy?
Absolutely. It will seem like, oh, this is, it's going pretty easy. Everyone's clear. And in a matter of 10, 15 minutes, you'll have 3 big calls for service and everyone's tied up. The board will be completely ready.
Wow.
You just never know. So. But that happens more often than not, it will seem. Like you'll have these laws, and then we always say the city explodes.
Yep. And if you don't mind just mentioning again, this was National Police Week.
Yes. Yep.
That's every year.
Correct. Yep. Yeah, Police Memorial Week, and we just like to honor those who, like they say, gave the ultimate sacrifice.
That's right.
And honor their families and do what we can. And I think it's, again, just a great ceremony that we do every year.
It was very impressive. And those kids from Cranston West were terrific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they did a great job.
Now, what section of the city are we in now?
So still considered the western section. It's kind of heading back towards Knightsville. This is Atwood Avenue coming up here.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're going to start heading this way and then maybe head towards Arlington. We haven't been really through Arlington yet tonight. So we'll start. And then Edgewood, too. Yep.
So, folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. We're with Officer Scotty. Again, we want to give a special shout out to everyone that is tuning in. People ask how can they, if they miss some of the prior episodes, the answer is it's all on demand. You can, in fact, watch it on this Facebook page. And then you can also, I know some people are then going to watch, you're seeing this right now on YouTube, also on Spotify. Always ask people to share that they're watching, especially if you know someone in Cranston. Get a lot of people that now live out of state. They certainly enjoy watching it. And we have
People from Australia.
People from Australia, that's right. But then also definitely different parts of the country. So. Folks, again, it's 9 o'clock in the east. You're watching, this is Cranston PD Live. We're in Cranston, Rhode Island.
18.
It's Juan. We are riding with
893 Cranston Street. Tom, X-ray 439. All set.
Officer Scotty.
Yep.
Had a busy first hour, and we'll see what's in store for the next hour. It's been dry. Supposed to rain tomorrow, so that could actually maybe keep some people in.
Yes, yeah.
Much needed rain here in the east. It's been very dry, as a matter of fact.
We always anticipate accidents.
Yes,
When
that's right.
any sort of
It hasn't rained in a while.
Yes. So those could be taking up a lot of the calls for service tomorrow.
Yep.
So right now, Knightsville area, and we're going to start heading down towards the Arlington section of the city.
Have people asking, what is your shift on this Friday? Hours-wise?
So I come on at 3:45,
Yep.
and the shift wraps up at 11:45.
Okay. And is that normal or normal shift?
Yes, that's the typical shift. We go our schedule. We go 4 days on, and then 2 days off. So I got 2 more nights there. I'm in my second out of my 4 on my tour.
I imagine you're wired. Once you get off, you're still awake for a while.
Yeah.
He's free with the kids, with the girls.
Yes.
Or in the morning.
Yes, in the morning. That's another perk too.
Yes,
About
huge.
it's a lot. There's a lot of flexibility built into that with having young kids.
Yep.
When the schedule opens up.
Absolutely.
I just went on a field trip with my youngest.
Look at that.
We went over to Casey Farm.
Wow.
Yeah, a couple days ago. We had a great day at the farm. It was fun.
Coming in, what's your headquarters for a few minutes?
Yep.
So yes, now this is more the Arlington area.
Okay.
I'm gonna take a spin down Dyer Avenue.
Yep. Go by the site of the accident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was over kind of by Dyer at Wales there, so
Okay.
we'll be driving right by it.
Folks, I do have some video of that. That's going to be up tomorrow. Just ran out of time this afternoon. Seemed to be an unusual accident.
Yes. Yeah. It's not too often where, you're gonna have a vehicle striking several different kind of unoccupied vehicles in a lot. Does happen. So going vehicles into a building sometimes.
Wow.
But yeah, every now and then they do happen. You never really know what to expect when it happens, right? You don't know if someone's going to be under the influence. You don't know if there's some sort of mechanical malfunction. I've had medical emergencies, like diabetic emergencies, stuff like that. So, yeah, but there's scary situations.
Yes.
Especially if there's people, whether inside the building or around that area.
Right.
No one wants to see a car barreling toward them.
It was right around 4:30 this afternoon, I believe.
Yes.
Right around
Yeah. So busier time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it caused us. We had to detour some of the traffic. we're going to be coming up on it.
By the way, thank you everyone who people are sending me photos and videos. We're finishing up on another story, but that video will be up and posted probably later tonight, as a matter of fact. Now, what street is this?
This is Dyer Avenue
Dyer.
that we're on. Yeah. And turning up. So this is Farmington. Yep, we're going to be turning up on.
Okay.
Which will eventually take us out very close to our station.
Okay.
The Route 10 area.
Yep.
And then maybe from there we can start heading a little east.
Just a policing question. Someone want to know how useful do you find the taser?
Believe it or not, I have never utilized
Wow.
my taser. Right? So we carry them. It's a tool, but just like any other tool, it can fail and it has its limitations. Right? Especially wintertime, if someone's wearing a lot of bulky clothing. Sometimes the prongs can't penetrate the clothes, won't get the spread that you need, and it's basically rendered ineffective.
Huh.
So like anything, you always say it's one tool to go to, but you don't rely on it. Just like with technology. Right? Technology, a great tool, but you can't solely rely on it to work all the time.
Right.
And that's kind of how I feel about the tasing, Certainly other guys would tell you it's been a very useful tool to them, but yeah, no, fortunately, I have not had to utilize it. But there could be that day. I
That's
have
right.
to, I certainly would prefer it over the pepper spray.
Yeah.
There's just too many. There's too many unknowns with that. The wind can get involved, and you can get some blowback on you and hit other officers. And
Wow.
it's just.
Does that happen as well?
Oh yeah, that will happen. It's so strong, so anyone in that immediate area will get some sort of residual effect from it.
Wow.
Usually when it goes off.
Another good tool.
Another great tool to use, and you get pepper spray throughout the academy. They make you do, a little course with it, but just so you can start trying to understand and build up a little tolerance to it, just understanding how you could work under those conditions.
Wow.
If you were to be sprayed with it,
So you experienced the effects of it?
I have.
You have?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep. That, the taser as well.
Really?
Yep.
You've
Good
been
taser in the
tased?
process.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
Yep.
Is that part of it, or it's just something you requested?
No, it was. We had to do it during that time. Yeah.
Wow.
I think they might kind of make it optional now
Okay.
for people if they,
Huh. How would you describe it?
not pleasant in the least. Everything kind of tightens up on you.
Wow.
It's like a very bad Charlie horse muscle spasm that just won't let up for those couple seconds.
And just a takedown.
Yeah, takedowns, and then once it's over, it releases. But that's exactly what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
incapacitate you for that time. You can, put the cuffs on somebody.
Right.
And that's, what it's intended to do.
Yep. And we are now headed on Route 10, and we're going to head to what section of the city?
I would say more like you had mentioned, down towards Edgewood.
Yep.
Area. So yeah, Elmwood Avenue, Edgewood,
Yes. Okay.
That kind of area down there. So we kind of been, Garden City. We went south, Ralph Square a little bit, driving through Pontiac, Arlington there. Now we'll head kind of eastbound, but like I said, I mentioned earlier, just like there's a lot of ground in
There
Cranston,
is.
Yep. So.
Folks, again, Friday evening, you are watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. We are riding along tonight. Officer Scotty, again, shout out to his lovely wife. She enjoys watching it.
She loves watching the
does.
show. Absolutely. Yes. Yep.
It's never dull.
Never
Was it the
dull.
shooting last night?
Yes.
The drive-by shooting in Providence.
Yep.
Yep.
Heard about that.
And then obviously we're at the police ceremony in Cranston on Wednesday. It's tough to keep track.
She's not the only one either. There's a couple other waves of
All right.
officers who love
Nice.
to tune in and watch the show. So.
Well, it certainly highlights the tremendous policing of the Cranston Police Force.
Thank you. Yeah.
Full display. And folks, again, this also, I know some of the people, you're going to see some clips on TikTok as well, just because we've had people request to be able to see that. But right now, our big platforms are obviously Facebook Live. You can also see this in Facebook Watch, folks. If you go into Facebook Watch, just type in Cranston PD Live. All 23 episodes will pull up, and it's going to rain tomorrow, so you can see them and see the various officers we've been with. And then we will we edit it into a little bit of a highlight. Got a very busy first hour. We're now in our second hour on this Friday night. And we're going to head towards the eastern part of the city, which is Edgewood.
Yes, correct. Yep, we're going to come out on Park Avenue here, off Route 10, and then we're going to head down towards Edgewood, Broad Street, Warwick Avenue, an area that kind of borders the Warwick down that way. Yep.
Central City.
Folks, this is Park Avenue. And what about Roger Williams Park, officer? Is that part of that in Cranston and part of that in Providence?
So most of the whole park is Providence, throughout the park.
Okay.
We will get the streets that come out through the park a lot that are in our city, down in Edgewood. But usually, throughout the park, Providence will handle calls for service in the park. But a lot of times we'll wind up assisting them in there. Again, you're looking for people. That's a great cut through sometimes when there's criminal activity going on. Yep. People try to exit through the park, or lay low in the park for a little while. So a lot of times we're assisting with them, making checks in the park a lot.
People want to know what weight class did you wrestle at when you were a Bolt?
I had competed at 152.
Whoa! All right, that's good size.
Good size. Yeah.
There.
Put on a few pounds since then,
All right.
but yeah, that was the weight I wrestled.
Have you found, has that come in handy sometimes if you've ever had to get in a situation where you have to be physical with the job?
Yes. Yeah. It's because a lot of it is controlling somebody on the ground, right? To the point where you can again affect the arrest.
Sure.
And try to keep everyone safe and yourself safe. So, yeah, I feel a little more at ease in situations like that, having that kind of background and an experience,
Well, I mean, all scuffles, it always ends up on the ground.
Yeah, correct. Right. Yeah, it's never pretty, right? Scuffles, and they always, like you said, always end up on the ground. So,
Only in a movie that it's like a boxing match.
Right, correct.
It's not real life.
No. Nope.
We're right at Park and Warwick. Officially entered Edgewood.
Took a right here. We're going to be heading towards roads on the Patuxent or the Warwick area. We're going to take a left, head further down towards the Providence line here, and kind of towards J-Woo, that end of it.
Were you, the night before Thanksgiving, were you at that shooting on Smith Street?
No, I was not at that one, no. Nope. But I do recall, yeah,
that was heavy volume call.
Yes, it was.
And then there was the crash down here on Broad and Wheeler.
Yes.
Up here.
Yep, that was another, big crash.
Have we encountered you? Have I been at the scene with someone within our paths have crossed?
Yes.
Okay.
We were, we did a warrant pickup
Yes.
with Sergeant Q, Randall Manor.
Okay, right.
Iroquois Trail, juveniles up front, fireworks and making noise.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that is back towards the western part of the city. So we might we'll start heading back over there too.
Okay.
Turn around, yeah. And again, something that seems innocent, right? With some juveniles setting off some fireworks, can have some dire repercussions.
Yes.
Things get out of control. So we're gonna start heading over there. Okay. 212, I'm gonna follow it. Now, since we have such a distance to cover, we're going to put the lights and sirens on here to head back over towards the Iroquois.
Folks, you're watching Cranston PD Live Friday night. Share that you're watching. Thumbs up if you're watching and enjoying. You're riding along. Officer Scotty, Cranston Police on this Friday night.
start heading for the Speedway gas station, 305 Phoenix Ave. They have a party in the store trying to use a stolen credit card.
All right. So we're gonna do a little U-turn.
Grab a little caller.
Clerk. Can you call on?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we're being diverted.
Call on?
Hola. Hold on, everybody.
So we just got a report of someone trying to use a stolen credit card at Speedway and Phoenix Avenue.
Yep.
So we're gonna follow into that.
Okay. That's not far.
No, not far at all from here.
G20 from Sharon.
Folks, you're watching Cranston PD Live Friday night. We are riding Sergeant Scotty, Cranston Police Department. Excuse me, Officer Scotty. Folks, share that you are watching. Again, a big thank you to Roberta, Ann, everyone of Team One. Folks, we are on our way to report of someone trying to use a stolen credit card. Again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. Share that you're watching. Thank you for all the stars on this Friday night. If you enjoy the program, folks, share that you are watching. We're almost at 400. Right, here we go.
So right now, Officer Diaz is telling us to kind of hold off for a second. He's got eyes on that individual.
Okay.
Let's go to channel 4.
Folks, here we go.
Are you with this individual?
Yeah.
Sure, how are you? Good. What's going on tonight? Nothing? What happened to your face? Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, it looks real bad. Hence the sunglasses, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, that's why I covered them up. I don't even like looking at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got ID on you?
Yeah. Oh, I think my wife has it in her pocketbook.
Your wife has it right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But my name's John Catugno.
John Catugno.
Yeah. Cotugno.
Cranston,
yes.
John, what's your date of birth?
7/19/1964.
What's the address?
I'm homeless. I'm in between homes right now. I'm getting Section 8. I signed a lease for a house on Randall Street.
Okay.
So I should be moving. We already paid the first month in the security.
All right. Since
So-
you don't have your ID on you right now, she has to
has
give.
it.
All right. Give
Yeah.
me the last four of your social.
037.
All right, folks, we're going to step away for a moment. Now, you can see they have that woman in that vehicle right there. Again, good evening, everybody. You're watching Cranston PD Live. We're right at the Speedway. If you enjoy the program, everybody sent 200 stars. You can see the other officers inside talking with someone else in the store. Now, the woman that we first saw is in that vehicle right there. Hola. By the way, fantastic driving by Officer Scotty. Folks, that had a French Connection feel to it.
What was the fight over? You got into it.
Somebody tried to rob me.
Oh. That led to the
I
fight.
can't even find all that guy.
Yeah. You guys got into a fist fight. Did you get robbed? Did you hold on to your
No,
stuff?
I had it $60. He tried to get my gold chain too.
Okay.
No.
You still have that. And you didn't get those sunglasses either from me.
I didn't have these on at the time.
All right.
Yeah, he was a pretty
Who's the
big
car
guy.
registered to, John?
Her.
In her name?
Yeah.
It's all registered?
Yeah, it's all legit,
All
insured,
legit?
registered, yep, everything, yep.
All right. Has she been locked up recently?
No.
Or have you? No. You guys have been good?
I've been good for the last 2 years. I've had one shot driving without a license in the last 2 years. That's it.
18, I'm out there.
Where were you guys tonight before you came over here?
We went to try to get a room at a hotel, but they put it up for the graduation, so we didn't have enough money.
Okay.
So then we were going to go visit her mom. Her mom lives right up the street.
Yeah.
Citrus Vista, right there.
Okay.
You know?
You try to stay there for the night?
Yeah, we
Is
were
that
going to
was
ask
the
her
plan?
mom, yeah.
Okay.
Folks, again, it's Friday night. You're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Vaughn. And we see the other officer inside speaking with, I believe, owner of the store. And then you have this man's companion, I believe, is in the back of this police car, is the other Cranston police officer. Again, we're with Officer Scotty of the Cranston Police Department. Let's see what the other officers. All right. Folks, we'll give them just a moment. So we have the two officers here, and then we have the gentleman with the sunglasses in the vehicle. He was when he took them off. I Could have been around the other side. He was in, they were in some kind of an altercation. Oh, I think here's the store clerk. He stated to Officer Scotty that he was in some kind of a fight. So that's why he's got the sunglasses on. We'll get a full recap from Officer Scotty, I'm sure. But they did put this man's female companion into the vehicle. He's got the sunglasses on. That doesn't stand out. I think it's because of my light. But the call came in was someone was trying to use a stolen credit card here. I'll give you the scene. Folks, again, thank you everyone for tuning in on this Friday night. Make sure you want to make sure you follow the page. If you'd like to subscribe, he's having a cigarette. If you like to subscribe to the page, you can do that. And then you can also as two officers. The gentleman with the sunglasses is having a cigarette. But I believe we have her in the back of the vehicle.
Shut the lights off so the battery don't die.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
I don't mind. What's going on with these credit cards your wife's using?
I don't know.
You don't know?
She has vanilla card that she paid, that she bought. I know that.
Okay.
She has my debit card.
Yeah. I don't think we're here for your debit card. That's not what we got called for. I just figure you guys have been driving around together, so you might have an idea.
No, I know that she uses the debit and she uses the vanilla card too sometimes. But
Yep.
do you mind if I smoke? Does it bother you?
Doesn't bother me at all.
Is she in trouble?
We're going through for her right now. I'll tell you that.
He can't have his EBT card or nothing. That's all he has. Can you get it out for him?
Nope.
What the fuck?
That's all evidence.
I didn't use fucking anything.
We just go through that, but I'm with yeah.
being taken into custody, just so you know.
She is?
Yeah.
For what?
Using fraudulent credit cards.
The vanilla cards?
I have no idea what cards. Vanilla cards not.
I know.
You know, given to somebody, so it's probably a different card she's utilizing. But you have a license? Valid license?
I have an ID.
A license. Do you have a license? No.
Does he have a positive ID on him?
My mom does.
She's saying that. Well, he was saying that she has his ID on her.
All right.
Where is it? In her
It's in
purse?
the pocketbook.
He's saying in the pocketbook. Diaz.
I'm in the wall.
In the wallet pot.
Yep, I got it.
Send us the rest of this information ASAP.
But unfortunately, that's illegal. I can't give up your car for it.
Folks, she's in cuffs. Again, good evening, one and all. You're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. Folks, we are with... Oh, now he's getting out. Thank you for the stars on this Friday night. If you're enjoying this live stream programming.
Yeah, he can't drive. He has a license, and this is all of your cars, which I'll allow you to have, but you're not taking her stuff, all right?
Okay.
You can't use her cards. That's illegal. That's fraudulent use of a credit card.
You say the card's in her name?
Yes, the card's in her name.
Yeah, you just want to run that quick bill to make sure it's on the up and up and it's not.
Can I have her mom come and pick it up?
Same tolls, yeah. What's that?
Can I have her mom come and pick the car up?
Well, how's she gonna get down here? Where she lives?
She lives Situate Vista, yeah.
She has someone who can drive her down here?
Yeah.
You give her a call?
Yeah, my phone is in the car.
Where is it?
The phone and the charger should be right in the center console, so like in the middle.
Yep. On the coffee cup?
Yeah. Oh no, this is just the charger, officer. The phone is in the that's the well, actually I need that too. That's a portable charger.
I got two other cards here. Do you want to look?
Those are her cards?
Those are vanilla cards.
Yeah, she has some.
One of them is mine. But
Well, it's being seized as evidence.
okay.
That's a whole charge going on, right? Fraudulent credit card. So you got a ton of those hanging around. You get seized right now. That's part of it.
She has cards with other people's names on them. Thank you very much. Oh, this isn't the right. Can I get the phone off? So this is the phone's dead.
That's the
You
only
can
one I
come
saw
with
her in
me.
there, but
Can I show you the phone?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's the only one I saw in the
No, it's a new one. Maybe it's on the floor. No, here it is, right there. See it?
Oh, all right.
I'm gonna get it up, okay? Thank you. This phone broke, it dropped, so it's just not working right. I gotta keep my pants up. I'm gonna call her mom and see if she can come and get the car, okay? If not, I'm gonna have to get my jacket up, because I'm gonna have to walk to her house.
We're gonna make sure it's actually registered too, but given the event that it
It
is.
is, it's all legit, it's insured and everything. Ma, I got bad news. Susan got in trouble, yep, and they have her, they have the car at Speedway right down the street from your house. They said you can come and get it, if you can call it Lisa or somebody, or John, or somebody to come with you so they don't tow it. Huh? No, they won't. I don't have a license, Ma, you know that. She had a couple vanilla cards, I guess, that weren't hers or something, or they're saying, I know she purchased them, but I'm saying they're not sure how she purchased them. I'm not sure of the whole story. They didn't tell me, but the officer's really friendly. He gave me some information, about that she's under arrest for a credit card. But
Folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It is Juan. Thank you for tuning in on this Friday night. Have some fraudulent credit cards that we're dealing with. It's been a very busy Friday night with Officer Scotty. See the other officers going through some of the evidence on the other side. And we'll give this man a moment. He's trying to make arrangements with someone. Alright, so now the mother may be coming. Alright, she's coming.
Her other daughter. So, because our other daughter's a licensed operator, so she's gonna call her. She lives in Cranston too, right on Park Ave. By CVS, so it's a little ways, but not that far.
Folks, you can see the officer going through some of the evidence. And we're waiting for the other family member to arrive. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let's put the sunglasses on.
I have cigarettes on me.
Don't go reach.
Don't go reach me.
Sorry.
Alright.
You just found plate on her.
Yeah. If I search right now, you don't have anything on you?
No, you can search me. Good luck. I have nothing on me.
And then the follow-up question is there going to be anything in that car?
Maybe a pipe or a needle or something. That's it. But there's no drugs.
No drugs.
No drugs at all.
Where's the needle at?
It's in the middle console.
Any needles on
But
you?
no needles
No
on
needles,
me.
no
No,
pipes.
I don't use. I'm on methadone. So I have no needles on me. They're in the middle console. And nothing that can lift up. They're all closed. They're brand new. They've never been used. They're in the bag.
Okay. So go ahead and put your hand right on the phone.
Sure.
Put your hand in your pocket.
No, I just cut my pants for a little bit though. I just have cigarettes in this pocket.
Cigarettes in which pocket?
Right pocket, I believe.
You got shorts on underneath there?
Yeah, underwears, yeah.
Oh, you have shorts.
Yeah. Boxes too, I'm talking about, yeah. But I have nothing on underneath them, no.
Yeah, she's in the back of my car.
She's buff, right?
Yeah, so I found a pipe.
I was gonna say, I think I know what he
I
thinks.
was like, let me just get her over there.
Wow, sunglasses at night.
Stopper?
No, it's
Sun never
did a
sets
nice
on a
shine.
bad.
So I got into a fight. Somebody tried to rob me downtown at Kennedy Plaza.
Somebody what?
Tried to rob me.
Oh.
A black guy, and he punched me in the eye.
Oh, okay. I'll just wait until you guys come in.
Yeah.
Did you already look through her bag?
Yep, I looked for a bag. She has a pipe in there.
Okay.
So that's why I put the pipe back. The bag's good. Just her, I didn't check her.
Okay.
Whole thing started with a credit card. So.
That's what I thought. I was listening.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
we were busy.
Was the credit cards in here?
She comes back to the place she used it at. All right.
I just want to tie my pants up because they keep falling off. Also, thank you.
CFD's on scene, going to be in a
John's
consultant
gonna have to
process. They have the
again.
suspect
Sure.
held down.
Okay.
Yep, no problem.
That's why we finished.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna
It's
start.
Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, she's in my back. Yep, she's in my back. You wanna go?
Suspect still on scene?
In progress.
Okay.
Are we in motion?
So, we're going to disturb that payment as we were there.
Yep.
Kind of goes back to what you were saying. It can go from 0 to 100 very quickly. So we're going to head over there.
Got a 45 caliber.
pin this kid twice.
Right, 20. So what smoke stuff in? Mom said he smokes his cash all over the bathroom, busting up the bathroom. She wouldn't get at this, but we throw. He's up and down. He's gonna snap on it. Smoke something. We don't know what he's smoking. They were fighting with their parents.
So when we came in,
Dave.
Yeah.
I told him the police were involved.
Mercedes mess.
Adam, come sit on the couch with me again, all right, bud? Come on.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm going to bring him down Adam, come on.
Yeah, no. Whatever it could be done.
Yep.
No allergies. No. He's just.
He's gonna be with us.
Adam, come sit on the couch.
Come on, Adam.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
Adam, what'd you smoke?
So when we came in, all you guys are here, whatever. Yeah, she woke up there and screamed at me.
Adam, I'm going to look in your eyes.
He had this gentleman on the couch for a little bit, just by himself. He's kind of a little bit out of it, but he told us to go.
Huh?
He didn't want us to go. He was supposed to go first.
Yes.
So like, fine, we're gonna help you out. Then you're gonna have to get up off the couch. Kind of came running over here and we put him down over here.
It's very slow reacting. Can we get him a house for now?
So, all right, folks, we're gonna give them room. Folks, we're going to give them room. Just it's an active scene. Let the first responders do their thing. Again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. It's been a very eventful night. That was, I believe, Commander Padalano just arriving on the scene. It is just now 10 o'clock in the east. And it's been a very busy night, as I mentioned. The individual in the home, we'll find out. We're going to find out from Officer Scotty. But folks, good evening, everybody. Here I am. It is Juan. There's everyone. It's been a very busy Friday night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. So the parents apparently woke up. He had smoked something, and you could hear the first responders talking to him and try to revive him. We'll hear exactly from it. Thumbs up, though. It is 10 o'clock. You've been watching Cranston PD Live. I think we have found our new time, which is 8 to 10. They're working right now. That is very active inside, and we're going to watch to see exactly what's going to happen. I believe they're going to take this individual to the hospital. They were trying to determine what he may have had. So we're going to let the first responders do their thing. Make sure we're out of the way. See, they're working on him, I believe, on the front lawn. Here comes another police officer. right, folks, we're going to move out of the way because they're going to move quickly here. And then we'll get a full recap with Officer Scotty of the Cranston Police. That is, I believe, Commander Padalano. Folks, it's been a very busy night, as you know, here in Cranston. I want to thank Roberta Farrell. We want to thank Ann, David San Martino. I don't want to interfere with the first responders in the back. And then we'll get a full recap with Officer Scotty, who's right here at the back, assisting the first responders. Again, very special shout out everybody at Ted's Stadium. We're in Cranston right now. You've been watching Cranston PD Live.
Call for service. This young man took some sort of unknown substance.
Joy to 212
On 4.
Hold on a moment.
So we're going to transport him down to the hospital. He's going to get treatment down there. They're going to try to figure out what he's taking. But he's definitely not in the right state of mind right now. Combative with fire when they got on scene, hence why we cuffed him in the front right now. And he's still kind of all out of sorts right now. So that's what we have going on.
Folks, that is, of course, Officer Scotty. So Commander Padalano also arrived on scene. You can see him. This is a very active scene here in Cranston. You even have a neighbor, concerned neighbor across the street. Imagine what they're thinking in the neighborhood. Again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in on this Friday night. It is Juan, as we're with the Cranston Police. I think Commander Padalano is going to talk to the family a little bit. Hopefully he's going to be okay. You can, inside they're working on him. I want to once again thank everyone for sending stars to support this live, on-the-scene live stream programming that we do. That's how you make it possible. Yes, and we're not done yet. I still want to see if when the mother shows up for the fraudulent credit card. We don't want to be in the way when this rescue is going to be, I believe, leaving. We parked way back there. It's also Officer Andre. Rode with him one night. Folks, just a reminder, everyone, make sure you follow the page. If you ever miss an episode of Cranston PD Live, it's on this Facebook page. It's also on the website, DePetro.com, and then it's also on YouTube. Many of you are watching this right now on YouTube.
So, in a situation like that, obviously, he's handcuffed, he was combative, a little out of control. We're going to have Officer Andrade, he's going to ride down with rescue, make sure that nothing happens in the back there. Officer Carroll is going to be following behind because he's going to need, Officer Andrade will need a ride back to the cruiser after. So it's typically how calls like this can go. especially when they're on some sort of unknown narcotic right now. You know, it's speculation, but you know, fire believes that it could have been marijuana laced with something. It's just kind of going back to that earlier conversation we had, where it's becoming more and more prevalent. So,
And what about the gentleman with sunglasses was waiting for his companion's mother to show up?
yes, his companion's mother. We were going to allow her to come down and drive the vehicle from there. He had said, he made it clear he didn't have a license to operate, so we couldn't let him drive the car. So with her permission, the registered owner, we'd allow his mother to drive it out, as long as she has an active license.
How bad was his black eye?
Oh, it was bad. Yeah.
He said he got jumped downtown.
That's what he was saying. Yeah, he said someone was trying to attempt to rob him down at Kennedy Plaza. So, but this is, again, what I was saying. You know, we can go from having this kind of lull to all of a sudden, right, the board's red. Yep. And usually it happens within 5-10 minutes. Yep. So we're going to head back. We'll clear from here. We'll get back in service.
Okay.
Second.
There's also Commander Padalano we saw show up at the scene.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. And in fact, he had come on the air prior to that and saying how we were over at Speedway.
Yeah.
Because again, we were busy.
Right.
And as you can tell, looking at the board right now,
Yep.
a lot of red.
Wow.
211, go to 3.
So he was saying that someone could clear to go back up this call.
Right. And good thing.
Yes. Yeah. 'Cause we
So
went up
the
there-
young man was combative with the firefighters, the
Correct.
first responders.
Yes.
All right, here they come. And because of that, then Officer Andrew will ride with them.
Correct.
Yeah. But then another officer has to follow.
Correct.
Follow.
Another, Officer Carroll is going to
Yes.
follow behind.
Okay.
And then give Officer Andre the ride back to his cruiser here.
Okay.
So he's not stranded at the
Right.
hospital tonight.
And that's protocol.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime we have like a combative subject,
Yeah.
and they're being transported by fire, and especially if they're combative to the point where you have to put handcuffs on them, like we did in this case, we need an officer to ride behind. Once they get to the hospital, they have staff there equipped the security
Okay.
for people who are kind of violent,
Yep.
and they'll come in, they'll usually put them in a restraint. The cuffs come off, and then we can clear the scene from there. So, yeah, he's not in custody. He's just having an episode due to whatever narcotic he took.
Yep. Folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live.
Respond to a
Oh.
disturbance,
Uh-oh.
1573 Cranston Street.
Here we go.
Supposed to be 2 males and a female wrestling in the roadway.
212.
Require back 10.
212.
That's all.
Clearing arrow field. I can back 10.
Yes.
Yeah, that is. We're heading to Cranston Street for a disturbance.
Clear to be rounded that way too.
Nine, you can show me a route to headquarters with this one. Pick up female start 0. 2312.
Folks, again, good evening. You're watching Cranston PD Live on this Friday night as Juan. We are riding along. Officer Scotty heading to a disturbance on Cranston Street. Some individuals fighting in the middle of the road. Watch this. Whoa.
Superficials, yeah, we took them. I think it's all getting settled now. Yeah. This is the peak now.
He's pissed himself about taking off on us before.
I guess this is the second time.
He's had a knife underneath that. He just like he jumped out of the house. No driving like that. Last time I dealt with him was
Ronaldo, it's in my computer right here. Robbins, yeah.
Okay, you can't fumble. Ronaldo, come down. Past the church. It's okay, Ronaldo. You're gonna be all right. Ronaldo.
Grab that knife and those scissors. We'll put them in the house. We'll talk to you after. Yeah, I know. If you want to go back to 45, we'll meet you up in a little bit. We're going to put him in the rescue.
Oops, that's Commander Padalano on the scene. Got some pencils on the ground.
Yeah, a couple pencils, and then I tried to pick the piece up, and then
He's got the knife and the scissors.
oh yeah, let's move it along.
Folks, again, you're watching Cranston PD Live. Here comes the rescue. Swan on the scene. And, riding on this very busy Friday night. You can type in where you're watching from. You can list in the comments where you're watching from. Again, thank you for all the stars, folks, tonight. It's been a very busy Friday night. You also get a good sense of what the first responders are dealing with tonight. Folks, I want to also, we saw, that was Commander Padalano behind CVS. His Commander Padalano was at the other call where the kid smoked something. And now here he is again on this Friday night on the scene, in command. You can talk, see the Cranston police officers speaking with the...
Good job.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on letting him go tonight.
Folks, you can see that's Commander Padalano. He was the one, just so everyone knows, the body cam video where they caught the councilman and the commander was telling him, you know, you can't go down this path, you got to get on a program. Your health and life is more important than any political life. It is a video that's really taken off, that people have seen, where he was firm with the councilman, but he was also compassionate. Folks, they're going to bring him to Hasbro. You can hear them get him checked out. There's everybody making sure that they are clean. Hear the commander talking with the family members. I want to also just be really clear. I mean, I want people to understand that in a situation like this, I don't want to be in a I don't want to be in a booming voice. What can you tell us?
So, again, this was kind of like a mental health sort of call. Officer Brown was flagged down earlier when we had the call going on with a drug-induced person. He was flagged down for a runaway juvenile. So now this came in as a disturbance with two females and a male in the roadway. Happened to be mom and grandma trying to restrain him. And big kid for his age, and obviously going through a lot of just a mental health crisis. So we're going to take him down to Hasbro, get a psych eval done for him. Same sort of thing that you can tell he's giving us a little hard time, so we put him in cuffs. Same protocol. We're going to have an officer go down and an officer follow behind. Make sure that
he was cut up pretty good.
Yeah. A lot of kind of superficial cuts to him, so obviously a lot of self-harm you worry about. Possible suicidal ideation, and obviously just another young person in crisis right now. But once again, 0 to 100. very quickly, you know. I think we'll start trying to head back in the cruiser
Okay.
and clear here. And
Folks, you can see Commander Padalano comforting the family. I'm going to back out a little bit, give them some room. Okay.
That's a forum.
You can cancel too. I'm right there as well.
Too easy. Sure, thank you. 207. 207. I'll be calling rescue to Hasbro.
Officer, that was when we pulled up. That was a very intense scene.
yes,
Yes, sir.
he was screaming
Okay.
something.
Front door looks okay.
He needs punishment. He needs punishment.
Yeah.
And again, probably not in the right frame of mind. You know, given what we were seeing and his behavior out here. And we try to also keep in mind that we're dealing with the juvenile. So we don't want to go over the top. We want to help this young man who was in crisis too, but we also have to make sure that everyone's safe. There was a knife involved on the scene. We got that away from him. I don't know if you noticed, but there were just some pencils. It was sharpened. I kind of try to kick those away. Anything that could potentially be used as a weapon, you just want to make sure it's not within his reachable grasp, you know, when you're dealing with him, especially when he's got that erratic behavior.
Erratic is a good word.
So we will be clearing here, and looks like we're one of the lone survivors now today on this shift here.
Well, folks, with that, we want to thank Officer Scotty. What has been a very, very busy Friday night. First time, Officer, I'm going to put the pressure on. Would you consider riding again, allowing Juan once again? Would you do another edition of Cranston PD Live?
Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I enjoyed the company. I like, you know, being able to share these experiences with the viewers out there.
Yep.
And yeah, I never mind.
Give a shout out again. Your lovely wife and your daughters. Hopefully they're asleep by now.
Yeah, I'm sure my daughters are knocked out, Brielle and
They can
Avery.
watch it on demand.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. But I'm sure my wife is watching right to the end tonight. So big shout out to Gianna. I love you.
Now what do we? Oh, is that just that's the rescue going back in?
Yes. Yep.
You never know. Folks, I want to thank everyone. Thank you for all the stars tonight. We want to thank Roberta Farrell. Thank you to Ann. Thank you to everyone. Jane Rice, Crystal, David Sammartino, our producer William, Jacqueline Claire, who's also executive producer. Folks, again, thank you for tuning in. And you have been watching, folks, another edition of Cranston PD Live. And good night from Cranston Street.
6, I'll be 10-8.